The following is a special presentation of MRE Uno Division 2. You're watching the 2025 MRE Uno Division 2 Championship. Tonight, after dark, the second chances for the 8 players that fell out of the winner's brackets begin. 2 top 4 players fell out off of By Island, and 1 gets his chance at redemption and to fight his way back to the end tonight. SaiyanTitan is just 2 days removed from a gut-wrenching loss at the hands of Geo, with luck seemingly not on his side, and now he looks to rebound and prove his worth in this championship. The rebound will not be anywhere near easy, as he will have to face up against an opponent who not only fought through a single elimination LCQ, but also fell out in the first game of the championship and now has to play with his season on the line once again. Evan was gifted a spot in this championship late in the season, with the contenders at the top spelling away late LCQ hopefuls. He got a spot despite being a true win short of the requirement to qualify, and since then he has impressed, dropping 2 players who were just on the outside of the top 10 in the championship. But his first match in the championship did not go his way, losing a 3-1 lead late to Pikachu, and now he gets a tough draw in his second chance bid in Saiyan. It's a second chance, but all 8 players residing in this loser's bracket are walking on thin ice. One wrong move and their season is over. Who will extend their season another day tonight? The second chance starts here, as Saiyan and Evan will do battle in match number 1 of the loser's bracket, round 1, coming right up next.
Bombini, hello, welcome everybody to the D2 Championship here on Emery Una. We are kicking things off with our first match of the lower bracket, and this will ultimately be our first elimination game of the tournament here. I'm your host, Gima. We are going to jump into it here. It's going to be a bit of an interesting one. Number 2 seed Saiyan in this tournament taking on number 12 seed, the LCQB winner, Evan. Both have been anticipating this matchup for a while. However, for the circumstances they are in right now with this being losers round 1, both were hoping for better circumstances here, as the loser of this will be done for the season. But we'll see what happens here. Let's get into it here, as both players are looking to get a bounce back. This will be the losers bracket here. For both, they played a match in winners and ultimately did not win it. For Evan, started off the D2 Championship, actually played against Pikachu in the opening round. And that was a pretty crazy game that went all the way to 7. Evan losing by the slimmest of margins, and dropping the losers, but put up a great fight there. He looks to have a big bounce back here and pull off a big upset in this bracket. And then for Saiyan, was looking to have a good start, but unfortunately, some of that pack half momentum dried out a bit for him, and got upset by Geo. And he drops into losers bracket, a bit of a early detour for him, but he looks to be able to bounce back, and he has shown in the past he is capable of doing so. So we'll see if he can make the losers run. You got to remember, this is the second season in a row the 2 seed lost in winners quarters and dropped immediately to the losers bracket. But last season, Goldie, who was the 2 seed, made it all the way to the losers semis. We'll see if Saiyan can do the same here, go on a bit of a losers run and try to build some momentum going into D1 next season, since they do have the locked promotion spot. Evan most definitely is going to have to win this game to get a promotion spot. Not necessarily a locked promotion spot, depending on the circumstances, but for sure will want to get this win here to put himself in a better spot. But then, of course, we'll have the rest of the bracket actually tomorrow. So 3 games all happening on Saturday. We'll start at 9 a.m. with Red and Luke. We'll be doing some early morning drives with Short and Tapir on that one. You'll want to check that one out, as that's going to be another player who is locked in D1 next season. Red looking to have a bounce back here and go out with a bang and get going against Luke, who won February Flurry, and then we'll keep keeping things going with Ridley, J Money Archery April winner. Again, didn't have the best start, but looking to bounce back, and then Ridley, who won a match in winners actually, but then dropped a My Hill after getting swept, and then Joao Taco wraps up the round at 4 p.m. I'll be back on that one. Again, Joao LCQ winner, and then Taco ultimately lost to Ridley in 7, looking to score a win there and try to get some momentum going into the future. But we'll jump to stream here. I am joined by Tapir, who will also be on the 9 a.m. one, so he's doing a bit of a shift with the late night and early morning here. Tapir, welcome. Tell me your thoughts about this game here. It's going to be the first elimination game of these playoffs here, and a decent bit on the line for both these players in different aspects. Saiyan, again, like, he does have the promotion locked up, but he does want to build some momentum going into next season. Doesn't really want to end on a whimper here, and go 2 and out. And then for Evan, of course, looking to get the promotion, try to get a bit of a run going as a 12 seed, and score a big upset, probably his biggest win of the season. Tapir, your thoughts going into this one? Your thoughts?
Absolutely. Yeah. Thank you so much for having me. Momentum is going to be key here, right? Because as you mentioned, we saw with Saiyan there, he went hopefully not 0-2. He lost the first one, won't want to lose. He's going to win. Doesn't have much momentum under his belt, but he's a solid player. He's here for a reason. He's getting the promotion for a reason. I know he's going to do everything he can to try and get that win tonight. For Evan, it's going to be pretty much the same story. He's here for a reason. He really had a remarkable year. I don't think anybody really saw it coming, but I think he's happy to be here. I'm happy he's here. And I think he's going to be putting pedal to the metal tonight to get that win and keep his run going for the year. So I think it's going to be a great one. We're really going to see some drives tonight, and I'm eager to get it started. So hopefully we'll be able to do just that.
All right, thank you, Tapir. I will mention ahead of time if there's any slight buffers or lags in the stream. I do apologize. I am not at my current usual setup with this one, but we still should be fine. I'm looking at the OBS. Haven't had any drop frames yet. Doesn't seem to be too much of an issue. I know the voice chat for on my end's a little bit iffy. It's I think at 200 MBS, which isn't great, but will do for now. We'll go to the players. We'll start with the higher seed Saiyan. I mean, tough loss in winners bracket. But you dropped to losers here. We mentioned at the top, Goldie was in a similar situation last season, was able to rebound all the way to a 4th place finish and loser semifinals run. But your thoughts going into this one, your expectations of Evan as a player, and just kind of your mindset going into this one on what you look to be able to do to try to get the win.
Look, the situation is a win-win for me. It doesn't matter what the outcome is. I mean, I can either win and just go on and just, okay, we just get to play another set of Uno, or I lose and I can finally do what I've honestly been wanting for a little bit, and just probably just train myself, get ready for D1, and actually earn my stripes by actually competing against D1 players, maybe pull the upset in February. So at this point, I mean, regardless of the outcome, I'm hoping the mindset I can try to get into myself that, hey, it doesn't even matter. I mean, Evan is a decent player. He can show his flame every now and then when the cards fall right. So basically, I mean, I'm not 100% going to go all in for the win necessarily. I am hoping for a fun game at least, but just something fun. That's all I ask for. Like, it doesn't need to be at any outcome necessary. Just a decent game is all I ask.
All right, thank you, Evan. We'll go to you. I mean, you've had the run through the LCQ. I should probably actually update your post season because technically you have more. But I mean, Evan, you had that run through the LCQ, was able to make it into this bracket as a 12 seed. Very close to making it out the opening round for winners, but ultimately came up just a tiny bit short. Your thoughts going into this, going up against Saiyan, 12-win season on the season. or 12-win season on the year, and just kind of your mindset going into this on how you try to get the win. For Evan, Evan's going to type it up, so I'm going to quickly update the record here. So it'd be 11. So, all right. Yeah, because technically the LCQ is part of the playoffs as well. So Evan's record a little misleading there, but again, really had a really close match in the opening round. Unfortunately, couldn't find. Well, not even couldn't find. Just unfortunately, crazy turn of events, a crazy play from Pikachu is what ended up ultimately sending him in the losers. But I mean, Evan looked very good in that matchup here, so I think there's a good possibility he could come out here and get the win. But again, will be tough with the 2v12 matchup. I'm gonna keep this one typing up. Once he sends this, we'll get things rolling here. Again, still gonna same rule set as it usually is. Best of 7, 1 power play. Only goes up to best of 9 in the each respective final. So winners, losers, and grand finals. We'll see what Evan has to say here, because for him, definitely a game that's gonna mean a lot because he has been wanting to play Saiyan for a while. All right, this whole D2 chip experience has been like a dream to me. I need to bring in everything, especially against a D1 bound player. All right, I think that I think that's all I just gotta say on that one. So short and sweet. Yeah, we'll get things going. Brad will be our ref. He already initialized the game. Saiyan has the game 1 to call, so he will start things up here. We'll see what he goes with, and then we'll get things rolling.
Might as well not throw it and actually have it be a good game. Gonna go with 14G.
All right, opening up with 14 here. We've seen that quite a few times throughout this playoff so far, even just in the season. With a lot of people like that 14 to start off, but blue 1's gonna open up here. Tapir, I mean, your thoughts, like going up higher tier to start things out here. I mean, we've seen quite a few players do this. Your thoughts on that to open things up for the series?
Things here. Mostly, I think for me, it's going to be sort of a feeler round, right, for the first game, because remember, 14 cards, there's a lot of room to play your hand, lots of flexibility to see what your strategies are and what your opponent's going to do. Quick double play there from Saiyan. And it's going to be, for both players, you're just going to want to know where you're at, where your other opponent's at. And then for games 2 and beyond, kind of just get in what part starts play when you want to go high, low, mid, stuff like that. So this one's going to be sort of a feeler. We're going to see kind of where we're at. We're going to see where the players want to go from here. Green 2 there from Evan.
Green 2 goes up to green 7. And I mean, again, for Evan, he drew on that blue to start things off. Saiyan didn't prolong it, though. Made a quick switch there, but Saiyan will have a definitive lead here. But I mean, again, sometimes these higher tier starts, you kind of run with the plan A for a majority of it. You really just throw those numbers out, just kind of get down, and then maybe finish with a run. We've seen that before. We'll see if we get something similar here. We've been running green for a while here. Saiyan gonna go with a double on this one. And yeah, I mean,
Absolutely.
there's your table right there. Okay, I mean, I'll ask you this, Tapir. I guess your thoughts on the power play here. We've seen this season Saiyan as someone who usually likes doing it early mid game. I don't know if we'd see it like game 1 per se, but like I could see it popping up at some point as Evan's actually gonna go for the wild blue and Saiyan's out there.
Very interesting indeed. Yep, as far as the power play is concerned, I personally enjoy the power play lock. I know a lot of players do. It just seems like the smartest, safest way to series. But obviously, you've been around the block a lot. You've seen many different strategies. One of them being maybe if you're say up. Oh, sorry. If you're up like
Sorry to
all
hear
the
you were
time
cutting
about
out a little
3-0
bit.
is a lot better than 2-1 in that situation. Okay.
You're cutting out a bit.
Yeah, unfortunately to hear you were cutting out slightly.
It could be my internet. This is a different mic, so it should be fine.
I think the internet has been the thread, so I'm actually gonna go back to green here. I'm gonna quickly adjust myself. But yeah, Evan actually takes the lead here. Again, forcing the draw on the blue and then getting a quick triple really closed that gap in a matter of seconds. So, and that's gonna actually just close the game right there. So Evan starts it off 1-0. Started a bit behind, but ultimately made up the gap. So for Evan, that's a good start for him. He definitely wanted to start with the momentum on this one here, and he's gonna open things up with a 4-card run to the finish. I mean, Evan, thoughts on your game? You did throw you did throw a little bit further back at the start, but ultimately you did make the bounce back to get that win here. I mean, your thoughts going up 1-0. Luke joins.
From Evan, I see a quad play to the win there.
I mean, for Saiyan saying he wanted him to win, which is interesting. I'll ask what his thoughts were with that, but all according to plan for Evan. Saiyan, I mean, you mentioned wanting him to win. I mean, you posted your hand after. I mean, your thoughts on that game?
I mean, I knew he was gonna win. I mean, the only way I would have had a remote shot is if I try to ice him out of the greens. But I just thought if this was a game 7, I probably would have kept on drawing since he was frozen out on blue. But at the same time, it looked like I did switch to green at the right time because he had that chain. So it's not like anything too bad happened. Maybe I forced him to go on a detour, but to be honest, it was either the green 6 or the red 6, which would have been en route to a +2 on red that I ended up drawing somewheres. But it wouldn't have made a difference because of the chain that he had in the end. So really, it was just the deck basically favoring him, but really nothing more than that. I can respect the plan though, going to blue, ice me on blue, and then just go from there. I was thinking if he was gonna win, that would be the defining move. So I'm gonna give him credit for that.
Right. So you did mention you wanted him to win towards the end there. I mean, just quick, any elaboration on that? Like, is it part of the plan or just?
I'm just gonna be honest. I just want to get out of here as soon as possible so I can just get myself ready for D1.
All right. Well, we'll go to game 2 on this one. Still the call, still open board.
Maybe the randomness kind of got a bit screwy in game 1. Let's go with 14 again. Maybe I'll improve.
All right, we're gonna try the 14 again. We saw this work in winners, so we'll see if this works again here. All right, red 7. We'll see what the start is. I mean,
14
we played
twice in a
red
row
last
there.
time. Yeah, this did work in winners. I do remember that. Geo took game 1, but then Saiyan took game 2 here, so it could be a repeat. But yeah, Saiyan tried to go 6, but Evan just made the quick switch to blue. All right, we got a double there.
Very
Reverse
efficient, quick
blue.
double play there.
And yeah, Evan's just gonna go with the blue 2, and actually first ditto of the match.
Common theme there with the numbers. 2, 6, 7, stuff like that. Not a lot of number efficiency. Well, actually, a lot of number efficiency. Not so much color, though. Quick double play there into the 1. Saiyan's turn for a response. Let's see what he does.
And draw so out on blue.
Quite odd for being 14. I wonder if he just has something in the back pocket there. We'll see.
Blue 8. Evan keeping it going, and Saiyan found something there. He gets a 3-card run, goes into green, 3-card switch. So able to recover after that draw.
Seemingly top deck that blue skip.
Right, and Saiyan actually going for a light switch here. I mean, one switched into green, but immediately goes into yellow. Evan gonna play it here, and Saiyan keeps it going. I mean, another table check, and I mean, again, I mean, it's I mean, assuming Evan doesn't draw here, it's tied. But I mean, Saiyan does have the possession arrow at the moment. I mean, again, that first game, 328. We're at
It's
about
still very
230 now.
close.
It is, yeah. I mean, if someone gets a run here, definitely could overtake and then end it. I mean, we are in run territory. We've seen this a decent amount during this championship here. Wild +4 into green for Saiyan, down to 3. Evan back up to 8, so he does make a bit of a gap.
That's going to send Evan way back. 4 extra freshies, though. He should have a little bit of time to respond. He's going to have at least 1 turn. Let's see if he got anything. But he is nothing there, but he is going to go to the blue.
And that's going to force
Isis
Saiyan the draw.
Saiyan out. Wonderful play. Excellent play there.
And then switch into green.
Got back into the green, indeed. Back into blue. Undercut City here. Incredible.
Doesn't want the green, but then we get a crossover into red now. This is going longer than the first game here, both with the theatrics on these switches. Saiyan typing
Quad
and
4 is
thinking.
right there.
Not quite the rainbow though. We are still missing the yellow. Evan is typing up something here. Ooh, alright. Actually, I think the same +4 play that... Okay, no, 1 down actually to the 8, but Evan has that and ultimately decides to use it. Maybe want to save it for a finish, won't get to, but Saiyan gonna throw 6 back towards him, and he actually leaves the door open, so that's an interesting call, especially when it's a double there, and potentially could get +6 even more. Won't get it though. We'll just have the door shut. Maybe that works out more in his favor though, because he got the switch out of blue right away.
Into red now.
Into red. Evan's typing up something, and that's a big run here. And we go into yellow. No +2s anywhere in that, so Saiyan not adding cards, but it is tied 4-4. Evan pretty much
massive quad play there.
Yep, indeed. Saiyan gets the switch back into red, denies the yellow for Evan. We'll see how Evan reacts.
Man, that is crazy.
Wild yellow really wants it. Saiyan has some yellow as well.
Who's gonna get the highest bidder for yellow? It's gonna be Evan, I guess. Saiyan forced to play on it. Evan, here he comes with only 3 cards left. Potential run territory to the finish. Possibly taking the rug out from under Saiyan. Want it done now or later?
Okay, interesting.
Especially considering Saiyan just wanted to get it over with. You would think that he would just wanted it to be done now. Very interesting. A little bit of mind games going on.
Essentially, we'll see what Evan does
So he
here.
said, now or later, what will it be for later?
It's Uno. Which the green gets double
I
Uno
feel like
here.
this has to be a wild coming, you would think. Otherwise, this is a massive fumble. Yep, there it is.
Okay, well that could
Has
have
to be.
gone horribly wrong
Yeah.
for Evan, but gets away with the cheekiness. But gonna be 2-0. I mean, Evan, your thoughts on the confidence to go for that? Because I mean, that could have gone horribly wrong with how low cards were. I mean, for Saiyan, if you had a +4, I don't know, that one would be interesting. Wanted to play around a bit. All right. I mean, Saiyan, I don't really got any thoughts on that game on your end. I mean, you were close at times, but then just kind of there was, I mean, that +4 that kind of threw you back. You were close, but like you just got thrown back. I'm curious what the last card was. Because I mean, you did get to Uno at the end, but I mean, just kind of your
Green
thoughts.
5.
Green 5, that is tragic.
Yeah, I mean, look, if he wouldn't have hit Uno, I probably would have used the power play. Because it would have been number efficiency, then to the win, simple as that. But I kind of guess it would have been a waste of time if he had either a wild or a +4 or anything like that. So it just kind of makes us up into peer here. Now or later saying never wins with his own +4.
That would have been a really great
Okay.
response if you had it.
That would have been hilarious if I'm gonna be honest. Either that or I would have used the power play if he wouldn't have hit Uno and he had one extra card lying around. But I mean, look, I mean, I was kind of like lightly joking around when I see these stats so far. So far, they seem to be towards Evan's favor, but I mean, what are you gonna do when they lock the cards against you? Almost nothing, I guess.
I mean, just gotta make with what you get there. But 2-0 Evan, he gets the homestand now. Going to game 3, it's the start Evan needed for sure. But will he be able to keep it going here? He has the game 3 call, no 14, so we are going somewhere different. And it's gonna be 7. Gonna go with the OG. I mean, Tipir, your thoughts on Evan going lower, especially with him having some good success on the 14, or even just the high tier.
Yeah. So really, this one's just about resetting the narrative, right? Because you had the first 2 games were 14, really high start, lots of cards, lots of opportunity. Now with the 7, half as much, you're just a lot more limited. You're going to see a lot more drawing, a lot more ISO play. Not going to be a lot of options available at this point. So I fully expect to be some Draw City mixed in with this one, and Evans just trying to maybe cool it down a little bit and then go in for the kill later. So we'll see.
And we will see. Okay, Evan's gonna draw on the start, so no green. We'll see if Saiyan plays. He will. He has a double. So down to 5 quickly. Evan up to 8. Make that 9. Green is not his friend right now, and Saiyan doesn't have anything beyond that double. So green looking to not be the way to go for this game. Evan gets top deck, but that's gonna break it. So yeah, I mean for Saiyan, I mean again he does need a decent start in this game. He doesn't want to try to get one on the board. Because I mean if you're down 3-0, that's gonna be a bit of a disaster. Do not want to be the first one out of the D2 championship.
But we'll see where this goes. Again, running red now. Evan with a type does a double here. We'll close the gap a little bit. Saiyan still with the lead. And actually, is going to be another switch here from Saiyan. He goes into blue now. And Evan is out in blue, so he's stuck on 2-color. Man, that is quite the hand for Evan there to start things off for game 3.
Yep. Evan on 2-color.
Gonna power play.
Really,
Saiyan looking-
it really
yeah.
backfired. Yeah, it really
Yeah.
backfired for Evan. Oh, well, that was quick. That's going to
Yeah.
put Cody up for his first win this series.
All right, Saiyan getting one on the board here. Did not want to go down 3-0. Ultimately goes for the power play there. I mean, Saiyan, your thoughts using the power play there, especially with how that game was going. You do get one on the board here, trying to make it 2-2 here, but just your thoughts. I mean, ultimately did get a quick one there.
Okay, so going into game 3, going into game 3, I took a look at my hand here, and I was thinking, okay, I think we might need a card strength metric after this one. And for context, I usually say this for any games that end up getting extremely lopsided, but that Ursa Wapes. But regardless, though, I mean, I did learn something in a practice game a bit earlier against Nick. I mean, Nick had the lead, like, I think it was 2-1. And then he used the power play for the reason that he wanted it to be ahead 3-1. So I decided to go on that, plus the fact if I open up Pandora's box, I'd be in danger of absolutely anything, especially that I can inference that Evan probably has a lot of yellow cards, probably a chain, so I didn't want to risk that, so I just used the power play to get the win without him given a chance to give me a +2 when I already burned up my wild.
Yep. All right. Yeah, and again, Nick pointed out that one draw being the wild it is a big help there. But again, I mentioned it in game 2. Even if things seem tough on the cards, so you just got to make with what you have. And I mean, Tapir, I'm saying I think Saiyan definitely made the most of what he had with that one. Evan, I mean, any thought?
Absolutely.
No way. So it wasn't even 2-color; it was 1-color. Wow. Okay.
You've gotta be kidding me. All reds. Oh my god.
Power
7
of
cards
red's
that are
also
all
strong.
red.
Yeah. I do not have a soundboard right now because I have this scoreboard up as well. Unfortunately the red was a little too strong for Evan there. Hopefully for him, he's hoping it's a little less strong in game 4 here. He'll have the call, looking to get one on the board here and not have this be a homestand series, because that would, or an away, actually no, it'd be an away side series. Homestand has not won a single one yet. So again, gonna run it back. I mean, I think for him, trying to see if he could get maybe get a little bit fortunate this time. But I mean, we saw Tapir, Saiyan ran back 14 earlier in the series. It did not really work out here, so I'm curious if we'll see the same thing here. Although Saiyan is down a power play, so again, maybe a little advantage for Evan here, has a little bit more room to work with.
Very true. And then keep in mind also, should Evan use his power play here, it would make the last 3 games an effective best of 3. So it'll be very interesting to see what comes of that as we go immediately into yellow to start it off.
Won't draw right away there, but goes in the yellow. Okay, get a quick crossover into red. We'll see. Okay, gonna run red here, so bit of a better game for Evan. I mean, we saw how much red he had in the prior game, so we'll see if some of that carried over. Here, knock. But both red ones are also off the table, and not necessarily a ditto because there's a reverse in between. But Evan went the wild green, so I don't know. Maybe the red stayed in game 3. We'll see, but. I guess the question is, how will Saiyan react to this? Will he play with the green, or does he go for a switch? No, he's actually got nothing on green. So he's going to draw.
Nothing at all. Evan looking for another play here to expand his possible run and
That's his
his
second. Wow,
lead.
that's his second 4-card run to a finish of the series, and this time
Well,
7's gonna work.
took it down right there, made it 3-1. He's one away from advancing.
Yeah, I mean that time for Saiyan, unfortunately, it seemed Evan got a slightly better hand. For Saiyan, I mean, game 3, I think it was similar hands. Unfortunately, game 4 this time, Evan with a slightly stronger one. I really don't got much to say on that one. I mean, Evan just kind of ran that one plan A, but I mean, Evan is in a good spot. He's one away from the win here, so this would be a big upset for Evan if he can do it here. But yeah, it's a period. You got anything? I don't really got much after that game.
Oh, not a whole lot. Just funny thing is how quick it ended, right? Because I don't think. Just looking here. Okay, we did have one draw from Saiyan there on green. ISO play from Evans green, but we had 2 wilds, 1 wild plus 4 and 1 regular wild, and it just went pretty quick. So it's kind of what Uno does sometimes. Just quick and dirty. That's all there is to say.
Don't mean to contradict you on that one, Saiyan. Unfortunately, your opponent, Evan, was up 3-1 in his winners match. And that one, went the way it did. But Evan looking to redeem himself here, with this 3-1. We'll see. But
Eh,
yeah,
I don't know what the CSM or his first match was, but good
we can pull
lord.
it up.
Because good lord. +4s and wilds I'm paying attention to in particular. How is that giving him this much of an advantage? Oh my goodness. But
14-7 for Pikachu favor.
well, get ready for it to be higher if he manages to pull out of this one.
Again, we'll see what happens. But game 5, Saiyan with the call for either his last home call or second last thing on a sister series goes. We'll like to force it to game 7 here, but we'll see what he goes with.
You know what? I'm gonna make the Unobot go to a loyalty test on this one. Give me the no send.
That is, man, that is a risk to peer. Your thoughts? To peer?
Yep.
I mean, your thoughts on that one? I mean, that is a risk to go for 5, especially with being down 3-1 and no power play.
Sorry, I guess my internet cut out again.
Okay, just your thoughts. Brad, you could start up when you're ready.
Just, I kind of want.
Speaking +2s.
Way too risky. It cut out his internet.
All right, Eli, your thoughts here.
Cover for now. I mean, yeah, definitely a really risky play being down 3-1 and with no power play. I mean, if Diane wins the luck tester, then that's 3-2, but definitely a huge risk, huge reward for a lot of the marbles at stake here thus far.
Yeah, I mean, again, loser of this match will be out of the tournament here. And I mean, Evan had a double there, but nothing more. Green is not going to lead to an immediate finish here, so won't immediately blow up. We'll get a bit of a drawback here going into 8 and 7, so both looking for a break. Nope, not there yet. Still another draw. Will Evan have a play? No. both still drawing back. Keep it going here. Showing green like I'm talking. I'm not right now. There were times it was, but it was like a bunch of static. So. Alright, so nobody finding greens here. And not finding sixes either.
Try now.
Yes.
Okay. I don't know what happened. The square on me said it, well, like I said, it was showing green and it's showing that it's receiving my input, but you're saying that you can't hear me, so I don't know what happened.
It's probably just your internet and Discord being dumb. But anyways, we finally break the draw city. We went into yellow with Saiyan going with some light switching here. Again, I actually think for the drawback early on, they probably put up Saiyan a little bit more. Yeah, a little bit more. Because, I mean, he's not immediately at risk of an immediate finish. Which, I mean, that's the big danger of the 5-6 card starts, so.
Yeah, just a touch. A little bit of draw city there.
Alright. Yellow 1,
Way up
yellow
to
0.
7-7 now.
Running it down now, I really think this next draw is going to be crucial on who could win this game. I mean, for Saiyan really wants to bring this back, show that he can make these comebacks, similar to what he's been able to do at points this season. But for Evan, wanting to just close this one out and not have to stress another game. +4 from Saiyan goes into red. We do remember game 3, so we'll see if any of that occurs for Evan here. But gonna go with 9. Saiyan looking to get something going here. There it is. So the 5 ultimately works out. It's
there you go.
3-2. So did go for a risk there, but ultimately it paid off. And now we're going to game 6.
Saiyan won the luck tester.
I mean, yeah, Saiyan, you mentioned the luck. You did mention the luck test there, and I mean, again, with no power play in 5, especially being down 3-1, that was definitely a big risk to take. I mean, your thoughts on going for that, and just kind of your feelings that it paid off.
Okay, so this is what I was dealt with. Like, obviously, I was a little lucky to get the 2 skips in the first place. So I was thinking, like, might as well if he wins, and we're probably gonna have a huge advantage, but who cares at this point? Like my throat. But at the same time, if I come back to win, then there we go. At least, hopefully, we can get something going. But the reason why I held on to the yellow 6 for like at least 3 or 4 turns was because of the fact that, well, Evan had the power play. And I usually don't want to like change the color whenever I'm either near somebody or behind somebody. Because what if they just had a big chain for the finish? So I basically saved my power ammo as much as I can. So towards the end of my run, I would just go for it. Yeah, I may have bitten the bullet a little bit by using the +4 prematurely, but I just didn't want him to use the power play when I was 1 turn away, so why not hold him back 4 cards? If I get a red +2 coming my way, then so be it. I just got lucky to not get hit with the +2 or a +4.
Alright, Evan's saying he had nothing to counter
Yep.
anyway. Go ahead.
Well, excellent analysis there, because a lot of times what happens, I think of it both ways, right? Let's say your opponent's at Uno or something, and you know they're drawing on green. Even if you have a playable card in another color, you still want to keep it on green to try and force your opponent to draw some more. And then if you need maybe that other color, you have multiple of whatever it is, red, green, blue, whatever. You can get back to that color once you have determined that your opponent is drawn back sufficiently to where you can play the odds and think that, okay, maybe he has something in another color that maybe he won't be able to go out, and win as quickly as he was able to before. So that's one of the other strategies for drawing, very specific times. So I don't hate that play. Got him 2 wins now.
You're kind of cutting out there, so. But
Again, of course.
yeah, no, it's all good.
Oh, why?
All right, we'll just go to game 6 here. I mean, again, Evan looking to close this one out. Does not want to be another game 7. But yellow 9 to start. I mean, again, this is Evan's last homestand here, so looking to get something going here to try and wrap up the series, get the win, but have to see. And again, he still has the power play in his back pocket. Saiyan saying this is the only ammo he has. Yellow +2. I'm gonna mention this. This is interesting. The +2s have been very scarce in this series. That's only the third +2, and it's 3-0 on the +2. So I'm not really sure where the +2s went because there's not really many to be found.
I had him for breakfast. I forgot to mention that.
+2 shaped belly. Okay.
+2
well,
on
The other
list.
interesting thing is the +2s are the
unfortunately, it's a cut out again.
take a look at those stats.
Well, Sign draws on yellow. That's a big run there, and there's another +2. There's a 4-card run. Evan looking for a big show here, and gonna close it with a 5. I think it's the largest run of the series thus far. Don't think we've seen anything more than 4. But that's gonna give him a big advantage here, and that's gonna definitely put the pressure onto Saiyan. He is not feeling good about that one. Only got a +2 in that chain as well, and I mean, if based off his comments, it was not feeling good. Okay, well, I mean, the L6 wouldn't have worked, but blue 6. And no,
Evan's still having his power play too.
Evan actually ran himself into a draw there. So maybe he was looking for a switch there,
Interesting.
did not get it. And now he's stuck on the blue, so Saiyan looking to claw his way back into this one.
I mean, you'd think he'd be able to switch pretty easily off the blue, but I guess not. Well, he does get the red there. Little too late, I'd say, but we'll see what he can do with it.
Oof, +2. The +2s are coming out now. That's we've more than doubled the amount of +2s in this game alone for the entire series. But I mean, suddenly with that blue stall, ultimately Saiyan has found himself back into this game when it was looking a bit dire. So a play that's going to erase the +2. I mean, again, it's close. You don't really know who has the advantage at this point here because Evan has power play. He could jump over Saiyan, and Saiyan draws. So that's not necessarily gonna happen. But yeah, I'm walking over my words. But Evan actually also is gonna draw, so that's better for Saiyan. But that is not necessarily what he wanted to see at that moment, unless he got something big. Evan going for the green. I mean, Evan
It's definitely
more. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
We'll see if it's over, Saiyan. Evan's down to 4, Saiyan only lagging behind. I mean, we've seen a lot of quad finishes, and ETV Evan would be, right in that spot. Nope, he doesn't get it. Just the green 9 there.
Got the blue switch. He was not strong on blue. Can he get out of here quickly?
Saiyan
Oh boy.
and going over to blue. Oh boy, oh boy.
I mean, he's probably going to need a 9 to escape. No, he does not. So I'm going to try to keep things going for a little longer. This blue has just not been Evan's friend here, and so going to get a skip off the top deck, going to trade it in for something else. Saiyan also getting a top deck on the 8. I think we saw that earlier, and that was actually the switch out for Evan. So I'm not necessarily sure if he's going to get it here.
Yeah, I've been trying to get to 3 cards and maybe even further. We'll see.
I gotta wonder.
Unless he
how
got a
these,
magical +4 right about now.
Part of me is wondering how these
Uh-oh.
straws really
It's
are
time.
It's time.
changing his
Oh,
hand,
it's
but
time.
Evan might have gotten
Hold that
something
thought,
here.
G.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
Oh,
This might be a devastating end to Saiyan
that looks
season
like a
here.
top deck to me. He is
I mean-
taking it down.
I mean, Evan did lose on a top deck in winners, so would be interesting. But he is gonna power play. I mean, again, that's not necessarily over until it's over. We've seen this fall apart before, but we'll see what Evan does.
Oh, yeah. I know that all too well.
You just have to not typo at this point. Because essentially, now that you've power played, your opponent is helpless. So just make sure that you have put down every command correctly and whatever.
No, well, wait a second.
Okay.
Okay. That's
alright,
gonna do it.
whatever
Hang on,
happened,
I want to break that one down. So, wow. Hang on a second.
So he just power played. He had.
Oh no, because it was all in the same message. That's why. It was in the same.
Yeah, it was
Right.
all in the same message, so it's good. Damn, what a way end your season.
Another quad play
with that.
there.
That is very, very tragic.
All right. Well, Evan does.
What a
get
win
it.
for Evan here.
Yeah. Evan with big upset to get the win here. Saiyan unfortunately out. We'll go to Evan first. I mean, Evan, that's a big win for you. Get the win here, and you do ultimately win it on a top deck. Bit of vengeance for you after losing your winners match on a top deck. My question is, was the +4 yellow in your favor this time? Or was it? I actually know it probably was the +4 yellow, because I don't think there'd really be anything else here that would have been that play. But I mean, the +4 yellow ultimately goes your way. But I mean, Evan, your thoughts on getting the win here and moving on in this bracket, and I mean, definitely pretty much boosting your odds to make sure you're in the D1 field for next season. And Evan's going to type that one out here. While Evan's typing, Saiyan, we'll go to you. I mean, that's unfortunate. That's kind of a bit of a disappointing way to end your season here. I know you do have the D1 lock, but I know you may be hoping for a little bit better of an end. But I mean, just kind of your thoughts on your season as a whole, and just kind of moving in the next season, and kind of where you stand with that.
Like, I mean, look, this is a carbon copy of T2. That's practically the whole thing in general. Like, I can't remember what the stats exactly were for that game in particular, but this seems to be a carbon copy of T2, where I basically had the cards, yeah, Army had all the freaking ammo for the majority of the games. This is a carbon copy, but in a way, I mean, I would usually be ticked at this here, at the lopside, but theoretically, I mean, I'm already in D1, so I can just throw this game out. Like, it's almost like in the playoffs, you know? Like, you go to NASCAR playoffs, you get your promotion, or the analogy here would be advancing after winning the first race. You can go on to the next 2 races. You know, you can L4 a bad showing. You can DNF out of the race, or you have bad parts, whichever it is. We don't care. We're already to the promised land, which is the next round of the playoffs. But for me, I got to the promised land of getting into D1. So, to say the truth here, I mean, look. I mean, I kind of didn't care if I won or lost here, because my true aim wasn't to go for the D2 championship. I mean, I know this seems to be a bit of a shocker, but I just wanted to focus on bigger and better things. I know next year will be bigger. I know I'm going to have extra time in my hands in comparison to other promotees. I said, all right, let's do this. Let's get myself ready for February. So that's what we're going to do exactly. We're going to try to calm ourselves down, maybe meditate to some things during the winter, and get ready to go over in D1 and see what we can do. So Maybe we can pull a major upset like you see right here, even though, I mean, I wasn't really trying to gamble on it mentally. Because I know if I did, I would really be falling myself apart. But more than a later day.
Right, well, unfortunately, this will be the end of the road for Saiyan here, but again, 12-win season, nothing to scoff at. For Evan, big win here. I mean, we saw his thoughts here, heart racing more than ever now. Saiyan, hope to join you and send the promised land. Incredible feeling, take it down with Evan. I mean, Tapir, your thoughts on this one? I mean, Evan, big win here. Again, I know Saiyan was kind of eyeing for D1, but I mean, you don't really love to end your season on a bit of a whimper there, but I mean, for Saiyan, I think he's still going out with his head up high. Your thoughts on just kind of this series and Evan moving into the next round, potentially facing Joao, so we might have the two LCQ winners face off, which is kind of crazy, but your thoughts on how this ultimately played out?
I'm going to try and make it through the comments without breaking up, but I doubt that's going to happen.
Try your best.
So, absolutely. Yeah, for Saiyan, right, he said it best. He's moving on to bigger and better things, so looking forward to see what he does there. This was a really good ending for him, despite the unfortunate 0-2 loss here in the playoffs. But he really did go quite the distance in the entire season, and I'm sure he's very proud of that. Can keep his head held high, moving on to D1 there, as he's been looking forward to do for quite some time. For Evan, right, facing potentially Joao or whoever it is, he's still looking for that incredible run. He's built up a lot of momentum here with this 4-1 win or 4-2 win, excuse me. And he's gonna be tested time and time again with whoever it is that he faces, because everybody is just on that same skill level to an extent to where you never know really what's going to happen. You never know who's going to have the upper hand in Uno, and then of course there's the luck that comes into play there too. So he's going to always have to put on his A game for whichever match he's faced with. So for him, it's going to be a real test to try and get to the top. But if he gets there, I'm sure he's going to be particularly excited as anybody else would be in that case. So yeah, very fun series today. Ending in 6 instead of like a 4 or a 5. So very nice to see. Congratulations once again to Evan, and of course to Saiyan in his own right too.
Yep, all right. Thank you, Tapir. I mean, again, for Saiyan, we'll see him D1 next season. Evan boosting his chances of having the big playoff run to help his chances. Again, had to go through the LCQ and now trying to make it his way through losers. We'll see how he does, but that'll do it. I guess the last comment here, this is like one of my favorite gifts ever. It's just the irony of it all with, a good old Aaron Rodgers. But I digress. We'll go to the bracket here. And again, that'll do it for us tonight. Evan moves on. We'll face the winner of Joao Taco. That'll be the last match of the round. That match could have some stakes here. Joao definitely going to have more pressure to win that game now, as he does not want to kind of fall into that potential last spot, which would definitely hurt his chances of promotion. And then, of course, we have the 9 a.m. and 11 a.m. games with Red, Luke, Ridley, J Money, 4-7, 6-8. We'll see who gets the win in those ones. It's going to be quite the interesting spectacle to see how that one ultimately plays out, but we'll see what happens with that. And yeah, that is probably going to do it for us. Thank you all so much for watching this stream. Again, there was a non-zero chance this stream could have had issues, but I think we made it through okay. Again, not my usual setup, but looks like we are all right. But again, on behalf of the players, our ref Brad, my co-commentator Tapir, and everyone who came out to watch, thanks so much for watching this stream. Also, quick shout out to Eli for stepping in for like 5 minutes as well. But congratulations to Evan on the big win here. He moves on. Best of luck to Saiyan next season. And we'll be back tomorrow with a triple threat of action here in this MREONO D2 championship with the lower bracket. But until then, take care everyone and have a good night.
You've been watching the 2025 MRE Uno Division 2 Championship.